Greetings. Chris Brown on the Path of Ziking here with today's reflection on 9. 9 is the energy that invites us to climb a little higher, to pause long enough to witness the wider landscape and to recognize how our individual experiences belong to a much larger unfolding. Is the road, the sacred path, the bearer of time and the conductor of destiny. And today I have been reflecting on paths, literal paths, forest paths, unexpected turns, places where the terrain narrows, places where it opens, places where we come to a fork and realize that movement itself is asking something of us. Not every path announces where it is going. Some trails disappear into shadow. Some are overgrown, and some seem to circle back upon themselves. Some paths lead exactly where we intended, and some lead somewhere we never could imagine. Many of us were introduced to our first pathways long before we knew what a path was or that we were on it, let alone had a say in choosing them. We inherited family paths, cultural paths, religious paths, survival paths, paths built from expectations, roles, obligations, and unspoken agreements. See, as children, we become extraordinary navigators. We learn quickly which roads feel safest, which roads earn approval, and the roads to avoid conflict, which roads allow us to belong. Sometimes we become so skilled at surviving the terrain we were given that we don't realize we've been carrying maps drawn by someone else. And yet, something remarkable happens as we continue walking. Eventually, we arrive at a fork. And what if there's no signpost? No certainty? No clear indication of which direction to take? Only an invitation. An invitation to stop walking on autopilot. An invitation to become conscious and to choose. For me, this season of the journey has involved discovering that I've not been walking alone. As I have turned towards myself with curiosity and compassion, I've met aspects of myself that were formed to help me survive the dominated pathways of the horrific childhood I lived. These aspects are wise, resourceful, and protective. They're very good at the jobs and the roles that they hold. They've developed extraordinary skills. Some of these aspects become scouts, always looking ahead for danger. Some learn to anticipate the needs of others. And some kept watch. Some softened conflict. Some of these aspects carried grief from many lifetimes ago. And some held silence. But together they created an entire crew devoted to helping me navigate difficult terrain, to survive. For many years, I didn't even know they were there. I simply thought, this is who I am. But when I slowed down enough to listen, I discovered there were companions walking alongside me all along. And what surprised me most was that they weren't asking to be dismissed. They were asking to be met, to be acknowledged, thanked, and held, to be included in new conversations. So I sat with them. I listened. I learned what they'd been protecting. I learned what burdens they had carried and what agreements they made when I was too young to make conscious choices. Agreements like stay small to remain safe, monitor everyone else's emotions, never disappoint. Agreements like do not need too much and prepare for abandonment. Keep moving even when exhausted. Now, instead of rejecting these agreements, I found myself appreciating them because at one time they served a purpose. They helped me survive. But survival agreements don't always become life-giving agreements. And 9 feels like an invitation to step back and ask, do these agreements still belong on the road ahead? Or are there new agreements waiting to be made? What if the path forward isn't about abandoning the companions who protected us? What if it's about walking together differently? What if we can gently say, thank you for carrying me. Thank you for helping me reach this place. We're walking together now. I'm here, aware, listening, and capable of making conscious choices. Something beautiful happens when we make these new agreements. The path shifts. The landscape changes. New possibilities emerge. And sometimes another aspect appears. Another companion steps out from the trees, one we'd not noticed before, not because they were hidden, but because we had not yet become the version of ourselves capable of meeting them. And this is the part of what 9 offers us, perspective. The understanding that the path is not simply taking us somewhere. The path is revealing who we are becoming as we walk it. Every fork, every pause, every detour, every moment we choose to stay with ourselves instead of abandoning ourselves. these become sacred milestones, threads woven into the tapestry of life. Reminds us that destiny is not necessarily a destination waiting somewhere in the future. Destiny can be the quality of relationship we cultivate with ourselves as we move through. It may be the willingness to walk with awareness, to notice what accompanies us, to welcome what emerges, to bless what has carried us, and to remain open to what still wishes to be discovered. Today, much of humanity is standing at a fork in their own path. Maybe you are uncertain, and an old road that feels so familiar that you're walking, but it's no longer nourishing you. Perhaps the new road is unmarked. 9 whispers, you don't need to see the entire journey. You only need enough light for the next honest step. And maybe the greatest blessing is realizing that we are no longer walking unconsciously through inherited landscapes. We are becoming conscious travelers, witnesses to our own unfoldment, companions to the many selves who helped us arrive here, and participants in creating new agreements about how we wish to travel from this day forward. May we climb high enough to appreciate the larger landscape and honor the companions who carried us as we trust the forks in the road that invite deeper choices. And may we remember that every conscious step becomes part of the blessing we leave upon the path for those who walk after us. Just as we receive the blessings of those who've walked before us. I am another. You. We are one. And this expansive consciousness of being, with gratitude to all my teachers and all those holding me in protective guidance as I walk, engaging through sovereignty in sacred collaboration with Mother Earth, the great star nation, and all living beings. Until tomorrow, may your path be walked in good company